It's 2025, you guys, and it's time we stop thinking that we need a 10-step skincare routine in order to have good skin. If you're looking to achieve clear, healthy skin in an easy 3-step routine, keep on watching. Now, unless you're a true skincare girly who genuinely enjoys layering all those lotions and potions onto her skin, and it's just self care to you, I think you'll find a lot of value out of how simple yet effective this routine is. A couple reasons why I love this minimal 3-step routine and why I think it works. One, less products means less chemical exposure to the skin, chemicals that can otherwise do more harm than good. Number two, less products also means a simpler, more curated routine that you can actually keep up with. Because at the end of the day, with skincare, consistency truly is everything. Number three, less products to buy means more money to spend elsewhere on things that bring you joy. And last but not least is that this routine is truly adaptable and customizable to all skin types and all ages, which is why I think it's amazing. Now, with all of that being said, this video will be broken up into two main parts. In the first part, I'll be going over how to determine your specific skin type so that you can best choose products that suit your skin needs. And part two of this video, we'll be going over the actual 3-step routine, the methodology behind it, and also go over some product recommendations as well as key ingredients that you want to look out for when curating your perfect skincare routine. So let's talk about the different skin types there are and then go over how to actually determine your specific skin type. So the American Academy of Dermatology recognizes 5 different skin types: normal, dry, oily, combination, as well as sensitive skin. Generally speaking, your specific skin type is correlated to the amount of oil or sebum that your skin makes. Sensitive skin is the one skin type that's not directly correlated to the amount of oil production or sebum production that your skin has. It's more related to how sensitive or reactive your skin is to a variety of things, including skincare products, sun exposure, allergens, things like that. Now, it's worth noting that it is possible to have normal, dry, combination, oily skin and still have sensitive skin. As a rough guideline, oily skin tends to be a little bit more prone to acne, but that's not to say that the other skin types can't have acne. They also tend to be less prone to wrinkle formation. So that's a pro of having oily skin, because at the end of the day, when your skin is depleted of moisture and it's more on the dry side, fine lines and wrinkles can show. So that's kind of a con of having dry skin. But the nice thing about dry skin is they're not as prone to acne. So it's kind of a toss up there about what's perfect. People, I think, generally aim to have normal skin. That's kind of the Goldilocks of everything. Normal skin is when you kind of have a balanced amount of oil production. It doesn't feel really tight or dry. It's kind of where you want to be. So you're lucky if you have that. Combination skin is kind of a combination of everything. So you can have oily skin on maybe like the T-zone areas and then drier skin on the cheeks. That's what combination skin means. Now, a simple test to determine your specific skin type is to wash your face with a gentle cleanser, nothing harsh, and then give it about 30 minutes or so. Come back and observe your skin in the mirror and observe how it feels as well. If your skin is very shiny all over and it feels oily, then you most likely have an oily skin type. If your skin has no signs of shininess, it feels a little bit on the tight or dry side, it's most likely dry skin that you have. If you see some shininess on like certain areas of the skin, like the T-zone, like I mentioned, but there's like nothing else on the cheek areas, most likely you have combination skin. And then if your skin feels more like calm, hydrated, you most likely have normal skin, and you are very lucky because that's kind of where everyone wants to be. With that being said, let's move on to the actual 3-step routine, the methodology behind it, why I think it works and why it's so amazing, and give you some product and ingredient recommendations. So starting off with the morning regimen, first things first, when you wake up, your skin is most likely going to have some built up oil, not dirt per se, but like dead skin cells and things like that that built up. Even if your skin isn't that oily, you most likely have something on your skin that needs to be removed. And so you want to do this with a very gentle cleanser though, because it's not like you have much dirt accumulated overnight, but you still want to gently clean the surface. So we want a cleanser that's not too harsh and that doesn't strip your skin entirely of its moisture. So that's where this cleanser comes in. My cleanser of choice, the one that I've been using for over a year or two now, is the CeraVe Hydrating Cream to Foam Cleanser. specifically designed for normal to dry skin. I've used this whole range of cleansers from this brand for years now, but this one specifically for the past year or so. And what I love about this is that it kind of knocks out two birds with one stone. It cleanses the skin and it also removes makeup. So, spoiler alert, I also use this in the evening, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So this brand, what I love so much about CeraVe is that their line of products all contain like essential ceramides, hyaluronic acid, key ingredients that are just good for the skin barrier. And these kinds of ingredients are generally harder to come across when it comes to like drugstore or more affordable brands, which is why I love CeraVe so much. So if you have oily skin, I still recommend actually that you use a cleanser such as this one. Not necessarily this exact one. They have an oily formula that's more gel based, so it's lighter, it's not as nourishing or milky, but it still has the essential ceramides, it still has the hyaluronic acid that's going to help repair your skin barrier. But I recommend going with something like this over maybe a salicylic acid infused cleanser or cleansers that have a lot of harsh ingredients designed to target acne. And why I say this is because although you may have acne currently and you feel like you want to make sure all the skincare products in your regimen all target the acne because that way you can get rid of the acne faster. But I find that it actually can irritate the skin barrier a lot more and aggravate your existing acne. So instead of approaching it from a more aggressive standpoint like that, I recommend all the skin types to kind of gently cleanse your skin with a very gentle cleanser. And then later on, which we'll get to in a bit, in the evening routine, there's going to be a step where you can actually target certain problematic skin issues. Because at the end of the day, your skin isn't really absorbing all of those key active ingredients anyway. So there's really no need to spend your money on active ingredient cleansers. That's just my opinion. Another thing, when it comes to looking at key ingredients in your products, not just your cleanser, but all your skincare products, I recommend fragrance free and non comedogenic, so not pore clogging. Fragrances can be very irritating for a lot of skin types, especially sensitive skin types, and it's just not necessary. I think I love fragrance. Fragrances are beautiful, but it's really not necessary to have so much of that in your skincare. It doesn't add to the benefit of the product. So I would just avoid it if possible. And then non-comedogenic so that it's going to reduce the chance of, pore clogging issues, acne, things like that. My current moisturizer of choice is also from CeraVe. It's specifically the moisturizing cream. They have so many different types in their range that I would encourage you to look into. So when it comes to moisturizing, I think all skin types need to do this. It doesn't matter how oily your skin is. If your skin is on the oilier side and you feel like you don't want to moisturize or cause more oil production, just look to more lighter formulations such as gels and lotions versus creams that are heavier on the skin. But nonetheless, you still need to moisturize even with oily skin, because if you don't, what's going to happen is that your skin is going to think, I'm not getting enough moisture. Let's ramp up the oil production to compensate for the lack of moisture in the skin barrier. Okay, so we don't want that. So we want to create a very balanced skin environment, skin barrier. So we need to do that by replenishing it with essential ceramides, essential hyaluronic acid, things that are naturally found in the skin, but that can be depleted over time and with age. The third step of your essential morning routine is sunscreen, you guys, protecting your skin from the damaging ultraviolet rays out there. This step is so crucial. I will say it now, I will say it again. Everyone needs a sunscreen in their routine. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your skin type, it doesn't matter your gender, like everyone, okay? Sunscreen is so huge, and there are two main types to know about: chemical based versus physical based. Chemical based sunscreens means that, like, when you turn over the product packaging and you're looking at the active ingredients list, you're going to see ingredients such as avobenzone, octinoxate, oxybenzone, homosalate, things like that. Those are key indicators that you are using a chemical based sunscreen. Okay, and how these work at protecting your skin is that it actually absorbs the ultraviolet rays from the sun and then converts it into heat that then dissipates from the skin. So it's actually absorbing a little bit of the sun rays out there. Whereas physical based sunscreens, they work at protecting your skin, by physically deflecting those ultraviolet rays so that they don't even penetrate the skin barrier at all. So key ingredients that indicate to you that you're using a physical based sunscreen is titanium dioxide as well as zinc oxide. Those are the two main physical sunscreen ingredients you'll find on the market these days. Now the one I have, or the one that I use, this is not it. You guys are probably wondering, like, what is this? This is just a travel size container that I transferred my sunscreen into. I actually have these for all the steps in my routine to make it easier for travel, and also when I'm going to yoga classes, things like that. But the one I use, I'll insert a picture of it on the screen here so you have it for reference. I'll also link it below so that you can purchase it if you're interested. It's from the brand Seaweed Bath Company, and it's the Daily Mineral Sunscreen, and it's a physical based one. Now, as a general rule of thumb, I like to recommend people to use physical based sunscreens no matter what skin type they have, because if I had to choose one, I just feel like that's like the safer route. That's just the less problematic route. Because a con with chemical sunscreens is that it can cause a lot of burning and stinging, especially for sensitive skin types and acne prone skin. It also has been shown to absorb a little bit in the bloodstream, which can cause some hormone disruptions. So if you're just wanting to like eliminate all of those possibilities, I would say physical based is the way to go, just to have peace of mind. Now, if you own a chemical based sunscreen right now, I'm not saying that you need to throw it out and then run to the store to buy a physical based sunscreen. It's just things to keep in mind. You know, I'm not one for fear mongering or anything like that. Knowledge is power, but there's no need to become fearful from information. Some cons with physical based sunscreens though, and I think that it's what makes people more averse to using it, is the white cast appearance, or the, I guess, chalkiness of the formula. But honestly, these days, you guys, I feel like it's very easy to find elegant formulations in the market that, you know, use the technology of physical sunscreens, but it's in a very sophisticated formula. Like, it blends seamlessly on the skin, it's undetectable under makeup, and it's possible. So I encourage you guys to try looking for that. So we're done with sunscreen, and then you can go on with your makeup, etc. Okay, now moving on to the evening routine. Okay, so step one, cleansing your skin again. Okay, so you've been out all day long, you now have some oil, dirt built up over the hours that you've been out and about. Okay, you might be wearing some makeup. We need to cleanse the skin of all those impurities and create a fresh base so that the pores can breathe before you sleep. Now, I use literally the exact same cleanser. That's what makes it so simple. If you happen to wear like more long wearing makeup, I would recommend doing a double cleanse, or even using like a micellar water as a pre-step before cleansing your skin. That way your cleanser can actually do its job of cleansing your skin. Okay, but for me, I usually wear like a pretty light skin tint and maybe a little bit of concealer and powder here and there. So this is enough for me. If I feel like my makeup is a little heavier that day, I'll go in with a double cleanse, and it does the trick for me. Moving on to step two of the evening routine, which is where active ingredients come in. And what I mean by active ingredients is basically ingredients that actively target whatever problematic skin concerns that you have. So I find this step really fun because it's very customizable to your specific skin need, right? So if maybe you have acne and that's your primary concern, then you might want to try out products such as benzoyl peroxide, retinols, like tretinoin cream, things like that, but that's prescription only. If you have more like hyperpigmentation, dark spots, you want to brighten the skin a little bit, I would say vitamin C is your best bet, and that's what I use here. I actually use the Mad Hippie vitamin C serum, and I love this. Or if you have a more dull complexion, a little drier of a complexion, you want to brighten it up, reveal some fresh, glowy skin, you might want to look to alpha hydroxy acid based products, things like lactic acids, glycolic acids, products that have those ingredients. Make sure that you're buying quality active ingredients for this specific step, because this is really where you're going to see the most results. This one that I use, I have been using it for over a year now, and I think it's amazing. I would totally repurchase it, which I need to in a moment because it's running out. But this one is really good at just creating a very glowy, bright appearance. I put this on at night. In the morning, even after washing my face, I still have that dewy, plump, glowy appearance. That tells you that the product isn't just creating an artificial glow by like physically sitting on your skin, but it's actually working from within. And that's what I love so much about this product and then this specific, I guess, concept, like using an active ingredient in your routine. Step 3 is actually just moisturizing. So we're going to seal up all of that active goodness into our skin with our moisturizer. And you can use the exact same moisturizer that you use in your morning routine. That's what I do. I use this one right here. And that is that. So we're done with the whole 3-step morning routine, 3-step evening routine. Now, if you have a pretty solid foundation down, you can kind of add on these extra products just for fun. That's what I do. So I guess it's not technically a 3-step routine, but it basically is. This one is just not that critical, but I have it, so I'm going to use it. It's an eye cream to help brighten the under eyes, moisturize the area, and create a smoother base for makeup to go on. It's from Akir. It's called the Radically Rejuvenating Eye Cream, containing CoQ10 and Edelweiss Extract Nourish. There's another one that I had used prior to this. I actually recommend a little bit more if you're in the market for an eye cream. It's actually from the brand Mad Hippie, which is the brand of my active serum, vitamin C serum. And it's called a peptide eye cream, I believe. It contains a little bit of niacinamide, which is an amazing antioxidant to nourish the under eye skin area as well as help with discoloration or dark circles. The reason why I don't find this step super critical is because I honestly think that if I were to use a little bit of my CeraVe moisturizing cream, it would do the trick. You know, it contains the ceramides, it contains the hyaluronic acid. It would be just fine. So I don't find this step super critical, but I enjoy it, so I use it. The other add-on product is an exfoliator. Now, when it comes to exfoliators, there are two main types, kind of like with the sunscreens. There is the chemical versus physical sunscreens. And I would say for here, I recommend chemical over physical. So the opposite. And the reason why is because with exfoliators, oftentimes physical based ones can be extremely harsh and damaging, honestly, to the skin barrier. Like, do you guys remember the whole St. Ives apricot scrubs that were huge back in the day? I remember everyone on YouTube recommended it. It was $3 at Target, but looking back, it's so bad for your skin. It basically, I think the marketing was that it took ground up apricot seeds or kernels. I'm not sure, but like they took up the crushed up materials of that, and that's what's physically scrubbing away the dead skin cells. Very harsh. It can create micro tears in the skin and damage the skin barrier, and we definitely do not want that. We're working so hard to create a healthy skin barrier. We don't want to ruin all of that good hard work. Okay, so chemical-based exfoliators are the way to go here. You're looking at things like glycolic acid, anything under the alpha hydroxy acid category to actually dissolve the dead skin cells versus physically scrubbing it away. Now, the one that I use is actually, it's kind of unique in that it's not physical, but it's not acid based either. It's from the brand Cure. It's a Japanese skincare brand. It's called the Natural Aqua Gel, and it actually uses activated hydrogen water to slough away the dead skin cells on the surface. It's super gentle. It's basically like water on the skin, and it's very satisfying to use, you guys. When you rub the gel all over your skin, the more you rub it into your skin, you start to see and feel the dead skin cells ball up and then wash away. So it's extremely satisfying to use. I've been using this since, I don't know, middle school or high school, and I really like it. So I just keep sticking with it. And I'm sure there are physical exfoliators out there that are not as harsh for the skin. But again, if I want to do a general blanket statement to simplify things for you guys, I would say just go the chemical route for this step. Okay. As long as the beads or scrubbing materials are perfectly smooth and spherical and they're not jagged in the edges, it shouldn't be as harsh on the skin. But a lot of times it can be. All right. So that wraps things up here, you guys. A little disclaimer I want to make right now is that if you have a very solid, consistent, good skincare routine and you have a very clean, healthy diet for the most part, like 80 to 90% of the time, but you're still dealing with certain skin issues like acne for one, I would encourage you to look to a specialist like a dermatologist or even a functional medicine specialist to try to find the root cause of the issue, because at the end of the day, that can be an indicator of some underlying health issues. So hormone imbalances, really high cortisol levels, maybe your menstrual cycle is not really being regulated, and so it needs to be looked into. There's only so much that topical products can do for you, and if you're just buying product after product hoping to find a miracle, you're just wasting your money when you could be putting that money towards working with a specialist. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and got a lot of value out of it. If you have any questions about any concept that I talked about today, or you want me to go more in depth on any subtopic within this video, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notification bell so that you're notified whenever I upload. I would love to have you join and be a part of this community here. And until next time, bye guys.